Hey guys, welcome to Bookmark 330. This is our little book club podcast where we should probably introduce ourselves now. I'm Taylor.
I'm Caroline.
I'm Alexandra.
Yeah, and what we've done is each of us have picked a list of books. And we've all kind of used our own criteria and then added them to this big wheel, and we randomly spin each time we meet to randomly pick one of the books that we put in there, and then we get that book, read it, and then we, in the past, have just kind of met in person and talked about the book. But we had the idea to turn this into a podcast so we can share with the world our thoughts on these books. This week we happened to get Come Closer by Sara Gran. I'm sure that's how you say it. And whose pick was this? Whose book was this?
This is mine. I found most of my suggestions from scrolling through Instagram Reels, and if people talked about a book enough, I added it to the list. So that's where this came from.
And when she says mine, that's Alexandra.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
A lot of times people think Carolyn and I sound exactly the same.
True. We have heard that. Come Closer. What do you think you said we should do like a little synopsis? I mean, I figure maybe we don't want to get into spoilers too quick. But maybe, I mean, I didn't even read the inside of this, like the little synopsis it gives you before. I just kind of went into it completely blind. How would you even describe this without giving anything away?
It's like a horror
book.
It just a different take on it, sort of.
Okay.
Definitely horror-esque.
Yeah.
I think I can do a quick just synopsis.
Yeah.
So the main character's name is Amanda. She's an architect living in a city with her husband, Ed. And one day she starts hearing tapping in her apartment, the apartment that they live in. And then all these strange things start happening, and she pretty much comes to the conclusion that she's slowly getting possessed by a demon. And the story kind of follows her as her life unfolds.
Okay.
And this possession takes place.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. And it's we should say it's a pretty short book.
Less than 200 pages.
Yeah, it was
Pretty quick read.
Someone mentioned that the text was a little on the larger side, so I think I had this book the longest because we each get it from our own different library. I got this book first, and I had it for a little bit. I was waiting for these two to get theirs, and they finished it real quick before me, so I ended up reading most of it in one day. And it was
I mean, you could easily
hard.
read this in one day. The text is really big and the margins are really big, so it's easy to get through it.
Yeah, not a lot of big words either.
Yeah.
That's good for me.
Yeah.
So I had the idea of everybody writing down 3 words they would pick to describe this book, so I thought it would be maybe a good idea to start. We haven't talked about this book at all. We've been really trying to keep it to ourselves until we recorded this, so why don't we all go in a circle and just say the 3 words that we chose to describe this book? Do you want to start, Taylor?
Yeah, I'll also add real quick. We don't even really know what each of us thought about the book.
Yeah, we have no idea what we thought about the book.
Kind of. I think I got a couple hints from somebody what they might have thought, but my my 3 words I picked were dreamlike, clinical, and depressing.
Okay, Carolyn?
So the 3 words I came up with were unnerving, dejected, and compelling.
Whoa,
Okay.
that's a good word.
I took a little bit of a different turn on mine. I used the words half-baked, shallow, and cliche.
Whoa.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
Interesting. Okay.
Take, I guess.
Yeah, so how do
Say
we
why? I chose my words because unnerving, at a point whenever she started slowly getting kind of possessed, I felt like you're really on edge. Like you don't know if she's gonna be able to be in like reality or she's kind of like slipping away. So it's kind of like anxiety inducing to me. And dejected because, I mean, she's kind of like leaving her life slowly. So she's separating from like everyone, her, her husband and like her
Yeah.
work and everything. And then compelling was because this force was so strong that she couldn't get away from its grip.
Yeah,
I-
that's a good pick.
I mean, I'll say my words that I chose. I think I struggled with this book a little bit because I used half baked because I think the idea is really good. I like the idea of a possession story. Obviously, we love horror movies and we've seen a lot of scary movies that have to do with demonic possession, which is something that I like. And I was excited to read a book about it. I feel like the foundation and the story was there, but the writing itself and the character development for me lacked. And it kind of led the book. I don't know. I felt like I was missing something while I was reading it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it safe to assume you did not like this book?
I liked it. I liked it the most out of all
Oh,
books we've
really?
read. I actually thought it was pretty good. I liked that it wasn't too long and drawn out too, because I think sometimes that makes then you kind of lose the story. I thought it was good. It was short.
Yeah, definitely it being short helped it, I think, because it kind of felt almost, I don't know, like it almost was getting to a good spot, but then it just like never got there for me. That's how I felt about it. How did you feel, Taylor?
I think I'm kind of in between because I got through it really quickly because I was like compelled. I was like, oh, I don't want to stop reading. I want to know what happens. And then when it ended, I was kind of like, huh, I don't really know how I feel about that. But I was enjoying it when I was reading it. I don't think I ever hit a point where I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
But when I finished it, I was like, I don't really know how I feel about it. I don't know. But then you were kind of dropping subtle hints. I'm like,
Well, I feel like my biggest issues with, I guess, books in general or movies in general is just when a character doesn't feel like, when you read a really good book, you kind of forget that you're reading and the characters feel really like they're real people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really looking for when I read a book. And for this, it just seemed like Amanda, she didn't feel like a real person. She just felt like something to get the plot moving. And I just didn't feel really connected to her. And I felt like her husband was just this background person who popped in sometimes. And I didn't really feel anything toward him. And that was kind of my issue with it. Do you not feel that?
I kind of felt bad for him. I mean, I feel like
yeah.
he was sort of in the background 'cause she was the main character, but like also he was kind of like helpless. Like he didn't really. I kind of wish she would have told him what was going on, which I don't know if that
Me
would really
too.
helped, but like he didn't have a clue. So what do you expect him to do? I guess.
Yeah, I did like that she kind of ignored it in the beginning. It wasn't like that big of a deal for her, but then as the demon got more control over her, it was kind of like too late for her to really do anything or like say anything. Because
Yeah,
every time she tried to speak up, like the demon
Oh,
would
right.
take over.
that's true.
Because it was
She
like at
couldn't
that point,
talk.
yeah, the demon was too strong, but she didn't say anything before that because she was kind of didn't take it seriously,
She's in denial, which I guess I would be too. But
Yeah, I kind of liked that there wasn't really a story. It was just kind of like this is an account of a woman being slowly possessed over time. There was no like she didn't have any goals, like I want to get this big project done. I have to get this thing done. It was just kind of like this is what it's like every day to slowly be taken over by a demon and how it affects people around her. Oops,
yeah,
sorry. My cable is banging onto the desk. That's why one of my words was clinical, because it was just kind of like a very descriptive. This is what it feels like when the demon takes over your body. Like she goes into detail about it feeling like she keeps going to that beach. She keeps seeing that beach, and I think that was when the demon was taking over. I think,
When she tried to drown that child?
or no, just
N-
she
yeah.
kept visualizing that red
Oh, you
beach.
mean like in her mind?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
when she was
think-
dreaming.
too.
Was that?
Yeah.
I think that was supposed to be when the demon took over her body. That's where she went.
Yeah.
And then her describing, like she went into detail about this is what I wanted to say, but it didn't feel like my words. Like she's trying to tell Ed what was going on, Ed her husband, and it was like it showed what the demon was actually saying. Like it was very descriptive about what it felt like for the demon to take over and her losing her ability to her agency, I should say.
Definitely a loss of identity.
I think I'm just more critical. I don't know. Something about this, like, I know you say it's descriptive. One of my issues I had written down was that the writing seemed too simple. It almost seemed like I could see this almost being like a young adult book. It just seemed like
Hmm.
it was just not descriptive enough. It just the writing seemed simple and the plot almost seemed like bullet points, like this happened and then this happened and then this happened. I was just missing like parts of the story, I feel like.
Yeah, I guess that was part of my issue was the lack of story in my head. But I think at a certain point I stopped seeing it as an actual story and more of just like an account, like I said.
Yeah.
Because I was struggling to figure out the point of view of the book because she keeps the way she writes. It sounds like this, like she wrote this after all this happened, like after the character. Because in the beginning, she'll say stuff like, "And then 7 years later, I found out that I did do that."
Yeah.
So it's like
Maybe that could be like her telling her story after it
that's what I was wondering. Like
sort of happened, but
that's why it feels like an account. Like she sat down and wrote down about that time I got possessed by a demon.
yeah,
That's what it kind of
like
felt
a
like
case
to me.
study,
Yeah.
sort of like a snapshot in time.
So once I started seeing it like that, I wasn't really as frustrated with the writing style.
I kind of like sometimes. I mean, it just depends. Sometimes a simple read isn't always a bad thing to me, I guess.
Yeah, I like that.
I was struggling whether or not I was okay with the lack of answers versus her describing things more or finding out things more. So why did she get possessed? Just happens to her, which I don't know. I'm undecided if I am okay with the author not including why this happened or what could have led up to this happening. It just kind of randomly starts happening, which I guess if it did happen to you, that is how it would happen.
It's just natural selection.
Yeah, I did wonder
I don't
that
know.
too. I went back to the beginning and I'm like, they don't really say how it happened, but at a certain point, she starts noticing other people too that are possessed. Remember?
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe the point is that it does just happen, and it happens to a lot more people than you think.
But was that reality? Because
But
that was
wasn't-
another question I
I
had.
thought so.
Didn't she? This sort of not really start, but like she experienced this lady when she was really young.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that either. I'm like, did the demon take the form of her imaginary child?
I
Like,
thought that's who it was because she kind of like described it. But I don't know. I guess when you think about it, when you think about like horror films and stuff, is there ever like a reason that anyone gets possessed? Not really. It's just kind of random.
yeah,
I
I guess it
figured
depends.
that Nama is the name of the demon, that Nama took the form of her imaginary friend almost because she needed to have some sort of form, so she tried to find something within Amanda's memory that would be that wouldn't be scary. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like a comforting figure to maybe allow her to take over.
Yeah, it's kind of like Pennywise,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I guess the opposite, because Pennywise takes the form of something that scares you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or no, it doesn't. He takes the form of
Maybe
the clown to,
She needed to trust her
yeah.
to let her in.
But then I still don't know because the demon mentioned that she was trying to get in for a while or something like that. So I'm like, maybe she was the imaginary friend as a kid and she was just waiting and biding her time.
Yeah. Maybe something
Not
triggered
sure.
it, and we don't know why. I don't know.
We may never know. We have to email Sara Gran and ask her.
Yeah.
Well, I think well, also this kind of some of this book reminded me of Rosemary's Baby. Have you guys seen that?
I've seen the movie
Yeah.
a long
Just the
time
part
ago.
where obviously it's not Rosemary didn't get possessed, or she had a demon baby inside of her, but everybody in her life was in on it, which kind of made her feel like she was going crazy. So like her doctor was in on it, the neighbors and everything like that. So when Amanda goes to her doctor and then that psychiatrist, they both kind of like start acting weird. So that kind of gave me Rosemary's Baby vibe. But then also I think you're supposed to not understand, oh, are the doctors actually acting weird, or is this just Amanda slowly losing it and seeing things or hearing things?
I know, I didn't really know what to
Yeah,
make of
that's
that.
true.
Which is why, so I found a quick Q&A that the author Sara Gran did. So somebody asked her, what's behind the surreal incident with the psychiatrist? Is it a demon? So when Amanda, the lead character, goes to the psychiatrist to get help, the psychiatrist starts acting weird and all of a sudden knows all this stuff about Amanda that she didn't think she ever told him. And so the author said, I could tell you, but then I'd have to send you to a possibly demonic psychiatrist to erase the memory. It's better for us both if I don't. Thank you for asking. So that was a non-answer kind of.
Well, I thought maybe it could go either way. Either, yeah, she was just losing it and like imagining these things, or, you know, like she had these kind of blackout moments where she would forget things. I thought maybe she just forgot she told them stuff, but I don't know. Maybe it's the point that we don't know to make it even harder to understand.
Did you guys like the blackout thing or not? Because so she would black out. That was when the demon really was in possession, right? She would black out and then she would murder somebody.
I kind of liked it. That reminds me of something, and I can't put my finger on it. It's like
someone blacking out and then doing something terrible.
like a movie, sort of, but I can't remember. I can't put my finger on it. But oh, it's the. Have you ever seen the show The Santa Clarita Diet?
Oh yeah.
Does that happen?
Yeah, like kind of in the beginning, like she ends up like murdering people, and then she forgets she does it. And she's like, "Oh my god, did I do this?"
Oh,
I remember that.
Yeah.
I
good show.
I don't know. Again, I was on the fence about that. I don't want to seem like it makes it seem lazy, but if I was watching a TV show and that kept happening, where it's like you wake up, oh, I killed all these people, but there was no scene before that to like show that happening, I would kind of assume that was just like lazy storytelling. Because how many times can that happen before the reader's like, okay, can you like, especially at the end. So she kills her husband at the end. She murders him, but doesn't realize that she did it. She's just like in this total demonic state. And I feel like her killing her husband, who had been there through this whole story, it seemed like that should have been described instead of her just all of a sudden in the apartment with, I guess, police officers, and they're like, why did you do it? And then she goes into the room and she sees all the blood and stuff. It just seemed kind of anticlimactic, like, oh, I guess he died. Then the book ends.
I think for me I think it could have ended sooner, because it seemed like the demon's whole goal was just to separate her from Ed, and he already did that. And then it kind of dragged on a little bit, and then she kills him. It's like, oh, I thought it was already done. But
Yeah.
I think I didn't have a problem with the blackout part of it,
I didn't either.
because I think it just shows how not in control she is of the situation.
I guess so. I also, well, it was the blackout, but then her reaction to things. So I guess you could say that she was so in the grips of the demon that she couldn't even react to things. But she has this altercation on the street with this magazine vendor, and he's rude to her. And then she walks away and then blacks out. And then like the next night or day or something on the TV, there's this news story that magazine vendor had been killed right around the time when she had been there. So she suddenly realizes, oh, I think I killed that guy. And there's just basically no reaction to it. It's just kind of like, oh man, I think I did that. And then she just goes on with her life, which I feel like if you did that, you'd probably be a little bit more upset.
Well, like that's actually, I don't know if we should get into this yet, but that's kind of a quote I used, because I feel like that was a turning point almost.
Yeah. So I another prompt I thought we should do is pick a favorite quote or small section of the book that you either liked for a good reason or liked because you thought it was silly or something like that. So if did you have a quote you want to read from that section of the book?
Yeah, so my quote, which kind of goes off of what you said, was, it wasn't until months later that I would look back and realize that most likely I killed the magazine dealer myself. And I said that I like that quote because it was kind of a tipping point in the story, and Amanda's reality is slipping even quicker, because I think that was the first time she had like a real blackout, at least for like an extended period of time. I don't know, I just thought it was interesting. I guess I wasn't really thinking about her reaction to it, but I feel like maybe she was so in doubt of everything. Maybe she was just sort of like, couldn't even react to it or something.
I also, now I think about the blackouts, I liked it because it also later like added to her frustration when she kept trying to get that book.
Yeah.
And she like, it would disappear on the way walking home.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously if she was aware during the blackouts, then it wouldn't be as interesting. So it's like she has this unknown entity controlling her that she doesn't know about, and it's constantly blocking her from.
Well, the book was also an interesting thing. So at the beginning of the story, she says that she bought this book on architecture, which is what she works in.
Mhm.
And then instead of that book showing up at her doorstep, this demon possession book shows up at her doorstep, and she doesn't understand why. And that is the book that has this quiz that you basically take. It's like 10 questions about demon possession, and if you score high enough, that pretty much says, yeah, you're probably possessed by a demon. So was that just a coincidence that that book got sent to her house? Why did that get sent to her house?
I don't know. I didn't understand that. And then when she's at the bookstore, like the demon possession book gets knocked down.
And then so
it's like, what is going on?
So she all of a sudden, there are two, I guess, coincidences where these demon possession books kind of fall into her lap. Obviously, the demon isn't the one doing that, because why would the demon want her to have these books? So I think it's just a coincidence, but it seems
I don't know. I thought that was kind of like
odd.
a segue, because I liked how her score kept going up. And then you realize more and more, like, oh, this is serious. Because in the beginning, I thought it was just like a stupid quiz. But then after a while, I was like, oh, maybe this is the point of this book. Because we didn't know what the book was about in the first place.
Yeah.
There was a really funny part, and this is also a segue into my next, I guess, criticism of the book, that I was confused by the tone. Obviously, she wants this to be some sort of psychological horror story. There are parts in it that were written, and I couldn't tell if they were supposed to be funny or not. I took them as being funny, but I don't think they were supposed to. So there's a scene where kind of maybe toward like the, like, I don't know, 75% of the way into the book, she goes to a faith center or something to speak to that guy. And so she goes in there, and I guess he had written the book, or had been a part of writing of this book with the quiz, the demon quiz. And so he talks to her, and he's like, oh, let me guess, you think you're possessed by a demon, and you took this quiz. We should have never even written that quiz. It's, people are just taking it like too literally or whatever. And then he looks at her answers to the quiz, and then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I think you're definitely possessed by a demon. It was just like such a shift in his opinion and his tone. He went from being like, yeah, this like silly quiz, to, oh my God, like, you're definitely possessed by a demon.
Well, I figured he did that because he probably gets inquiries all the time where people are like over exaggerating.
I know, I think he did,
stuff.
but it was like humorous to me that happened. I could see that being like a comedy scene in a movie.
Maybe it kind of was.
Yeah, it could have been.
I guess so, but I don't think it was supposed to be.
That's how real people
Exorcism was a
act.
fail.
And wait, also one thing that I also thought was probably unintentionally funny was she goes to this faith healer to get help with the demon, and the faith healer gives her this jug of liquid. And the first jug that she gives her, that she's supposed to go in the bath and like wash herself with this liquid to help fight against the demon. The first jug of liquid was called number 5 demon fighting. And she either uses all of it and it doesn't work, or doesn't use all of it. But then she goes back later to get more of this liquid or get more help. And this time the faith healer gives her a number 17 demon burning extra strength liquid.
Yeah.
Which I thought
It was kind of funny.
I know, but I don't know if it's supposed
I mean,
to
it
be.
might be she's just kind of like a quack or something.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
I
Okay.
think it's just she's trying to sell something, and who knows, she might have even written that on there before she even gave it to her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if she just has
Yeah.
it stocked in the back room or something. but-
Yeah.
I took it as these people are mostly dealing with, like,
Fakes.
yeah, fakers. And then they don't really know what to do when someone's actually possessed. Because even
Yeah.
that lady saw the demon
Yeah.
next to her. So she
Probably
knew it
like,
was
"Oh, shit."
legit. But she was probably like, I sell stuff to people that aren't really possessed. So I don't know. Here,
okay.
take this. Same with that guy with the quiz. He was probably like, most of the people I deal with aren't actually possessed. You're
Yeah.
actually possessed. So I don't really know what
What to do
to
here?
do.
That could be accurate. Well, that kind of, can I have your copy of the book? Because my quote
Oh, yeah.
is kind of
I handed her the book.
okay, one second, I gotta get to the page. Okay, so this is the scene where she goes to this beach house that their friends own. Her and Ed go to this beach house, and she's on the beach, and she sees this little girl in the water by herself.
Claire?
Yeah, no, it's not Claire. It's just a random kid.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
So there's this like random like little girl in the water splashing around, and then Amanda goes up to her and she's like, "Oh, hi," and then tries drowning this kid in the water, and is kind of trying to like make it seem like she's helping her, but she's really drowning her and almost kills her. And then somebody sees them and like swoops in and like takes the kid away. But so then Amanda goes back up to Ed and is kind of shaken up by it, I guess. And Ed's comforting her. And then this happens. She says, "I looked up at the sky. A flock of birds was circling high above us, flying in and out of a V formation. One by one, they left the V and regrouped, flying into place one at a time to spell out a name, perfectly as pen on paper. Nama.
Is that your quote?
Why?
And also, I didn't see this before, but there's a typo right here. It says one by one, they left the V formation, which is also something that's...
Oh.
We caught a couple different typos,
Well-
but I just caught one live.
Is that one by one left? How is that a typo?
One by one, they left. I think maybe there should just be a comma here.
Wait,
Yeah.
what
I
page
think-
is that?
96.
I missed
One
that
by
one.
one, they left. No, that's definitely not supposed to be there. Either that or it's missing a comma.
I caught 7 typos. I marked all of them.
I caught 2. 7, that's a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of double words I've noticed.
Yeah, I should say most of mine are like misspellings. It's more like double words or. Oh, we can go through them later if you want.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think we need to go through
Well,
all of them, but
Why did you pick that quote though?
Because I was just reading that and I laughed to myself.
Oh, you thought it was funny? That's why you picked
I think it is a little silly that the birds would spell out the name of the demon.
Hey, it's
It is a little silly.
Like, I could see it being more effective if she looked up and, like, I don't know, the birds were doing something weird,
maybe
But
it's
to-
cheesy.
Yeah.
but to spell out the name of the demon is just kind of
To just her.
a
Too.
little silly.
Like the demon's just reminding her.
Yeah.
What was your quote, Taylor?
May I have the book?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Handing him the book.
Page 73. This was with Claire, the child.
Oh, yes.
It was with Ed's friends
Mm-hmm.
who have a kid named Claire, and Ed is talking to his two friends, and I guess Amanda is with the child Claire by themselves. And it's when the kid runs to those swans.
I think they're
There's-
geese.
Or geese.
Yeah.
And Amanda's like, "Stop, what are you doing?" And the kid's like, "She told me I could do it." Like, what are you talking about? No one told you to do anything. And then Claire pointed, said, "Your friend." "Who, honey?" "The lady that's always with you," she said. And then my line was, "When we got back to our little group, I told Sophia that Claire had been telling lies." I just thought that was so funny. Like an adult running to the parents and
Yeah.
be like, "Your daughter's lying." Like,
She's probably trying to cover up that. Maybe she realized, like, oh, maybe I did say that and it was the demon and I don't want people to think I'm nuts. I don't know.
Just funny because I think a parent would automatically assume that my kid is saying stuff.
Yeah, just a
Yeah,
little kid. like,
probably.
Yeah.
it just sounds so funny. An adult telling another adult, like, "Your kid is lying.
Kid's a
Don't listen to
liar."
them." I just thought that was funny.
All right. So I'm not the only one who thought parts of the story were funny.
No, there's definitely some silly parts. I'm like, that's a little silly, but I don't think it took away from the experience for me.
From the book.
Well, I guess we could already at 31 minutes. So,
It's okay.
the ending. What did you guys think of the ending?
So she's in prison, correct?
She's in like a mental institute.
Or a mental
Yeah.
institute. I don't know. It's like, it's kind of sad to think about the beginning. She was this like successful architect, you know, and all these things. And then she ends up in a mental prison. It made me kind of sad for her. And it made me want to know more. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't mind the ending. I didn't mind it, but I kind of wonder, so is she just possessed forever in there, or has the demon done its job, kind of? Because, like,
I know.
how much further can she get possessed if she's just like in this mental institute? I guess.
I know.
Kind of seemed
And
like
she's
she was
gonna move on to the next.
she was
the demon?
tormenting people in the mental hospital.
Yeah, true.
Oh.
That seems kind of
Could be, yeah.
a sucky goal for a demon, you know?
I know. I was
Yeah,
wondering
really,
that
'cause, like,
too.
now what is it? I thought maybe it would move on, but then,
Yeah.
then what happens to her? Is she like fine now? You know?
Typically
I
in
don't know.
demon history, I don't know, is the point the demon, they destroy your life and they get satisfaction out of that. They mess with you and
Probably.
separate you from your loved ones. And then, yeah, I guess I don't know what the end goal is. You die or,
But then she kept saying like, "I'll never leave you."
yeah.
So
I don't know. They
don't
went
know.
into the whole biblical history, too,
Mm-hmm.
where this demon was made for Adam, and Adam was disgusted by her. So it sounded like her whole existence was just to get back at men or something like that.
oh, yeah, she also
Yeah.
like hated men, kind of.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm going to get with this lady and ruin her relationship with her man and end up killing him as like a my own personal revenge against Adam or something like that. But then yeah, she's still with her, assumingly at the end of the story, tormenting other mental patients. Like, so I don't know. That part was a little confusing to me, but it wasn't that big of a deal for me.
I think I'd prefer that ending over her, because the story is so short. If she had to really quickly kind of wrap up how she expelled the demon, I feel like I would have probably not enjoyed that. You know what I mean? It would have been like, when a story ends and you're just like, okay, not everything has to be a happy ending. I like it when stories end like this.
Yeah, it's more realistic, maybe.
Yeah.
I had a feeling it was either going to end, because you notice you're getting towards the end of the book and you're like, she hasn't really gotten any closer to
Yeah.
getting better. So I'm like, she's either going to get rid of the demon finally, but her whole life is ruined. So it's like she has to start over, or she's just going to stay possessed. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. Like you said, I don't mind having a bad ending, or like a bad ending from the character's point of view.
Yeah.
Like that's just kind of life, you know. Some people don't always have happy endings.
Some people get possessed.
Yeah, apparently more than we thought. There's a lot of people possessed.
Well, would you guys recommend this book?
I think I would, if you want like a short read that's not super serious or like in depth, but you just kind of want to read something that's sort of entertaining, I guess.
Yeah, so it's not my favorite
book,
but it's also, like you said, it's short enough where it's like, yeah, if you want to read a book about demon possession, go for it. It's pretty short. You'll get through it quick.
Yeah.
Not wasting a lot of time on it.
Yeah, I agree.
Guessing you wouldn't. Oh.
No, I mean, if you want something quick, I mean, we read it. I think I read it in like 2 hours.
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah.
Really quickly.
So, and I think it could be a good, if you're trying to get into reading and you don't want some big heavy book that's going to take you forever, you're not going to be able to pay attention to. If you're kind of getting out of a reading slump, it could be a good book just to kind of like power through, maybe inspire you to read something else afterward.
Or if you think you might be possessed,
take the quiz.
Well, I was going to say, I looked at
it?
Sara Gran's Instagram, and apparently they re-released it a couple of years ago with a version of the quiz that you can cut out.
Oh man!
Take with you.
Yeah, did you guys take the quiz? I didn't.
No,
you were reading
I didn't.
it. I thought about it, and I was like, nah.
No, but I guess
maybe we should have.
I guess it's good to have in case something weird starts happening.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I wanted to note that I was disgusted on page 93 when she puts her bare feet on the dashboard of their car.
Oh,
They went on a trip.
That disturbed you.
Yeah.
that's the key of this.
And that was her. That wasn't the demon.
Yeah.
Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Also, that's really dangerous.
Yeah, putting your feet on the dashboard, that is
Yes.
dangerous.
It's true.
I've seen the videos.
Ew.
See, our podcast can help people too.
All right, well, I guess that's podcast number 1. We have read 2 books before this and talked about them, but we didn't record it.
I'm excited for
Yes.
the next book, though.
Okay, so I've got the wheel in front of us, and I'm going to pick our next book. Everybody ready?
So cool.
Spinning the wheel. And the choice for the next book is... I think this is Taylor's pick. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch.
Woohoo!
Woo!
It almost landed on your pick, Carrie.
Maybe one of these days.
Sorry, Carrie.
All right. Well, that's good. So if you want to follow
Sounds
along,
dark.
go find the
Yes.
book. We try to find them at our local library. And next podcast, we'll be talking about Dark Matter by Blake Crouch.
I think there's also a TV show.
Oh, okay.
Cool. We can
Read
watch
the
it
book
after.
first, though, maybe.
Yes. All right.
Okay, thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you.
everybody.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.